Okay, so how's everybody? Summer was good? Ready to do some coding? We're gonna have a long stretch together here. I mean, every Tuesday you're gonna have 4 hours in a row together. So I guess let's keep this open for a bit. So it's better that if we have 4 hours together, that we make good use of that time, isn't it? But before we talk business, before we talk shop, before we talk codes, we have to get to know each other a little bit more, okay? I'm going to start with myself, and then I'm going to let you do the talking, okay? So, let's see here. So, some of you, may know me already. So Caleb, this will be a repetition to some of you. But very important to get my name right, okay? Who's that guy there? Okay. That is Anderson, okay? That is Anderson. How about that guy there? Doing what there? What is he doing there?
Mr. Anderson.
Yes, Mr. Anderson. That is another Anderson. And I'm going to go, here it's a stretch. I don't know who knows who that lady is. Anyone? Yeah, it's old time, I should change that one. I'm going to stop using that one. Her name is Pamela Anderson. But again, my name is Anderson. There is no N. Why am I stickler about that? You guys are doing coding, So to be a good coder, what do we have to be? What do we have to do? To pay attention to? To details. Exactly. I took a point off of out of a student because he wrote my name wrong. After 13 weeks. Come on. Coding, again, it's attention to details. It's one capital letter will screw up your program. Will screw up your application. For one capital letter, one lowercase letter, you're going to have an error there. So again, if we are not paying attention to the details, you're going to get things wrong. So again, just get my name right, as well as I'm going to try my best to get as many names right as possible throughout the semester, even though I have 130 students. But let's see how far am I going to be able to get. So if you want more details, you can visit My Name Is Not Anderson. You know that this is my pet peeve, Everybody calls me Anderson. And I said, I'm going to put a site just saying that my name is not Anderson. That's it. That's my site. Just a little bit of background just to see why am I here talking about stuff with you. I've been in the industry since '95. I have my BA in computer science back in '98. Here in Canada, I started my business in 2007. And teaching online mostly, I've started back in 2010. But again, it was very much online teaching, not so much face-to-face. Face-to-face since last year. Face-to-face since October. That's the second time that I teach 229. The guy that was here, he was a student from last semester. Okay, 229 is a very heavy course. But as I said, I don't know who saw the video, but we're going to get through it, okay? So again, started teaching 2010 and face-to-face since last year. If you look me up, this is my company's website. I have a lot of training content in the second site. Not going to be mentioning much about that. Those are some of the things that I have done since 2007 up until now. So my accent, where does that come from? Brazil. So I'm originally from Brazil. Came to Canada back in 2002. And yeah, that's been a few years now. This is the family. We live close by. We live in Ajax. A lot of hard work there. A little bit of hobbies there. with my hubby, and podcasting. I love podcasting. I love talking, interviewing people. Right now, and I'll talk more about that. You're going to see a lot me mentioning about Solo Coder because it's a new podcast that I'm interviewing professionals in the industry to help you out, maybe decide what you want to do with your careers. I'm going to be focusing more on coding because I'm a coder, so I don't talk too much about network or things that do not relate to coding. So it's mostly about coding. But I'll be talking to people, and I have already started, to people in all different kinds of career paths that a coding career can take you. I'll be talking to artificial intelligence people, of mobile developers, desktop developers, all kinds of developers. And I'll talk more about that as we go along. But again, podcasting is a huge part of what I do, what I like doing. And I will be bringing that kind of medium a lot in our classes, okay? Oh, by the way, I have more than one shirt, just to let you know. You're going to see me with this shirt quite a lot, but it's not just one, okay? I clean them, I come back, I have a big set. Okay, any questions about me so far? Anything that you, I don't know, doesn't make sense? Okay, if not, now it's your turn. So here's what I would like to do. You're going to see that we're going to be using a lot of online tools, and we're going to start using one right now. So, and I should have put this on top, not at the bottom. I don't know if you can all see this here at the bottom. It's padlet.com. I'll change this to the top. So if you can go to this address, and then in the X here, replace with your section number. Okay, so again, padlet.com/Anderson/008. You're going to see a few things there. I'm going to show you what is it that you are looking at there. So here's the address again. A little bit smaller there, but padlet.com/Anderson/008, which is the section number. Okay. We're going to be using this quite a lot, but I'm not going to mention anything about this yet. The main thing here is about this survey, where I'll be asking you a few questions. It's optional if you don't want to fill it up. That's fine. Not the Slack one, please, not yet. This one here, Slack one, I will explain in a little bit. I just put it there. So get the one that says welcome. And it says about yourself, section 8. If you click this link, it will point to a Google survey. It will ask you a few questions. Again, it's not mandatory, but it will help me to get to know you a little bit better, to get to know how I can better assist you during the class, to know, whatever you want to share, whatever you want to share with me. But again, it's a way that we can start this 14 weeks, 15 weeks relationship. Okay, so again, let's take 5 minutes, 10 minutes here. Click this one here and fill it up. I'll give you, again, a few minutes there. Any questions? Anyone having problems accessing this website? You see what is, so I'm just asking you a few, student ID, just to make sure that I know who you are in the roster. Your name as per the college. If your pronoun, just to explain a little bit what that is. In my case, you can refer to me as he, him, his. If there's anything that I can help to make the class a little bit more comfortable for you, tell me about yourself. And you're going to see the questions are very straightforward. So I'm just going to put a timer here, and we know that we have a few minutes to take care of that. Again, the sweets are here. If you came later, you have some sweets here. I don't bring this every class, okay? It's just the first one. So, please. Okay, I can deliver as well, okay? So if anyone wants, I can deliver. Yes.
Where from in Brazil?
I'm from Northeast, Fortaleza. Are you Brazilian? São Paulo? Great. Yeah, 1 second. Here. Just. Cool. You?
What do you mean by the question? What are your preferred pronouns?
My pronoun is him, he, his, he.
Okay.
Okay, so again, for the ones that have completed, thank you very much. I will review them. However, I'd like to hear a little bit about each one of you. But the way we're going to do this, we're going to pair up. We're going to do this in pairs. 5 minutes here. just talk to each other, introduce yourself to your friend there. Now, once we are done with 5 minutes, you will have to introduce your friend to the rest of the class. Okay, so you stand up, say, this is my friend, so-and-so, and this is what he shared with me. So again, just get together, 2 minutes, each one. So in 5 minutes, we get back. But again, pair up, and let's get to know each other and the rest of the class. 5 minutes. You can go in threes. If there is anyone off there, you can go in threes, okay?
Just kind of makes both. I have a button.
So this is my last semester at the beach. I already worked at the IT. So you type like
Before.
Maybe you want to try another computer?
Well, this computer doesn't, you can't turn it on.
Yeah, I mean, let's see, through should enable to automatically, yeah. Internet does not have vibe. You may want to restart it. Did you try to restart? You did already? Yeah, so you may want to try another one.
what's the next?
So like, as I said, like I was never transfer before, but I feel like there's a business side on this because I don't know if there's here we really have the, you know, almost business. Just make everything like, yeah, like making sure everything was working properly. I never touched the code. It was my responsibility to make it everything work. No, I had to know that I worked with security. I would have to go to the, I used to work for a bank. I had to go to the business. And they would tell me what they needed, and then I would translate to technical specifications.
Oh, so the requirements.
Yeah, so it was also part of it.
It's a BA. Or they call it a BA. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't really, we call them as systems analysts, but you do everything they but they, you do like everything, like back in mind.
I want it just to show one.
Yeah, yeah. Like I had to do a bit of basic, so that's my I'm not a very good coder because I never had to sit down and like code. Like I would fix some stuff, like minor stuff.
You're planning to continue in the field or just?
I don't know. Let's see. What life is. How about you guys? You're
I'm a software engineering technician. Trying to finish as fast as possible.
what do you do?
I'm a service desk analyst. So I manage all tickets, pretty much. I handle the pretty young and I also take care of
Okay, so let's give this a try. Anyone wants to volunteer to start? Okay,
I'm gonna talk about Alvin here.
so maybe the three of you stand up and then the class can see you guys.
I'm gonna talk about Alvin. He was taking the software engineering technology. Then he changed it to technician because he already got a job in the area. He's a service desk analyst. That's it, pretty much.
Awesome. Alvin, welcome. Go ahead.
I'll talk about Mohammed over here. So he's from the Palestine-Israel area, right? He's studying software engineering technology, and I know that he's a really passionate coder from like school and like high school and stuff. And, yeah.
Mohammed,
Yep.
welcome.
So,
Go ahead.
Here is Andre. He's from Brazil. He has about 10 years experience in programming in Brazil. And he likes gaming with his son.
Awesome. Welcome, guys. Anybody else? Come on. I can point or, yeah, sure. Stand up.
Okay, this is John.
John.
He's from South Korea. He's been in the programming industry for 2 years, and he's also in software engineering.
Awesome. John, welcome. Go ahead.
This is Jeff.
Jeff.
I knew him for 6 years. We're actually neighbors.
Okay. So we kind of know everything about each other already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting fact, he lives 4 places together. And also, he's good at computer science.
Perfect. Awesome. Welcome, guys. Anybody else? Come on. Let's go. Let's go, guys.
Yeah, like he's my friend Selwyn. Like we've been knowing him from my first semester. So we both are in gaming program first, and then I changed my program to technology. So we've been out in touch for around like 1 year. So it's the time I'm meeting him again.
Awesome.
So what you're gonna do is bachelor's after this. There you go.
Perfect.
I'm Serma. This is my friend Kishore, and like he said, we were in gaming programming. He switched to software engineering technology, so he moves on to that now. I believe he's, after this, going to universities to go for his bachelor's degree. Same with me after I complete this
Awesome.
degree as well.
Perfect. Welcome, guys. Come on. Anybody else? Caleb, please.
This is Peppa. He lives in a basement apartment. He's taking software engineering and really likes it.
Perfect. Welcome.
His name is Gavin, and he's a student of game program. He loves playing video games.
Awesome. Come on. Trunk. Want to introduce your group there? Come on.
My name is Zhang, and this is Alpha for Medium, and we come to Canada last year.
Okay. Awesome. Welcome.
This is Nabi. He's from Afghanistan. He's been in Canada for 10 years now. He's taking a software engineering course, and this is his second year in this college.
Perfect. Welcome.
His name is James. He's from Vietnam. He's here since 2018. He's doing software engineering.
Perfect. Welcome, guys. Anybody else? Yeah, please.
So this is my friend Kenny. He's originally from Cameroon, and he's taking software engineering.
Kenny, welcome, Kenny. Perfect. Welcome, guys. Come on. Anyone? Anyone else? Have a few more spots available. Come on. See? Come on. Your friend is saying, yeah.
So his name is George.
George.
He's in game programming.
Awesome.
He's been here for 10 years. And then he likes to play games.
George, a gamer.
So this is Visa. He's also a game programming, also a gamer. So yeah.
Good. Okay. All gamers. A lot of gamers here. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I just met him. His name is Kim. He's in a 2-year program, software engineering mission. He took summer break as well. And he's from South Korea.
Kim, welcome.
He's Abraham, and he's from the East Africa, and just came to Canada 3 years ago. It's a co-op.
Okay, Abraham, welcome. Anybody else? Anybody else? No? Okay, that's fine. Not gonna go one by one if you don't want to. That's fine. Good. So let's move on here. We have quite a lot of grounds to cover today. So the next one here, let me make sure that things won't fall from the cracks here. Okay. Great. Let's talk about this thing here. Actually, I think there is another slide here. Oh, yes. That's what we just did. Okay, so I want to walk you all through a few commitments that I find them to be important to establish our ground rules here. Some of them are negotiable, some of them are non-negotiable, okay? So, first one that is non-negotiable is respect. We have to respect each other's opinions, we have to respect each other's backgrounds, we come from a variety of different places here. So again, respect does not mean that you cannot disagree with people. You can disagree, with opinions, but not personally, okay? So again, respect is number one here in class, and that's not negotiable, okay? Let's talk a little bit about assignments and a few things about grades. I know that nobody cares about grades, but yeah. Assignments, we're gonna have 4 assignments. Each assignment is worth 10%, okay? The dates will come as we go through, most likely by next week. You're gonna see all the different dates that you're gonna be doing the assignments. Collaboration versus copying. Plagiarism. Who knows what plagiarism is?
Copying somebody else's work and claiming it's your own.
Copying somebody else's work. Accidentally, not accidentally. Sometimes we do, work together. You work together. There's nothing wrong with doing an assignment that is supposed to be, your own, but you exchange information with a colleague, that's fine. That's okay. It doesn't mean that, I cannot study with him or her because, no, you can. However, at the end of the day, that assignment, that product is your own. You're going to exchange ideas, exchange concepts, but the code is your own. I'm in the business for 20 years now. So I know when a code is a copy from another one. I'm going to stress this now just because I get this every single semester. I have to give 0 to people that are copied from each other. And they come ask me, why? Because this is a copy of the other code. This is a copy, and I can tell you that this is a copy of this, which is a copy of this, which is a copy of this. Do you want me to prove? Again, this is about you, this course is about you learning, So, again, collaboration is okay, but not copying. And if you have any questions about that, come to me beforehand, before you, maybe you don't know what exactly is considered as copying. So come to me and clarify that beforehand. I'm here as a partner of yours. I'm not here as it's me against you. It's not like that. I'm here working together with you, okay? So, and again, to be honest, I wouldn't care about copying, but I have to follow the rules of the college. And the college cares about that. The college cares about academic honesty, okay? So again, very important to, and that's very common with assignments, because assignments you have to deliver a piece of code. And again, it's very easy to copy that piece of code. It takes a second to copy that from a colleague. However, again, I'm in the business for 20 years. I know when something is a copy of something else, okay? I don't want to hammer on that too much, but this is the right time for me to give that message. Not after 14 weeks that I say, oh, I saw this before. And again, I mean, it breaks my heart to give a 0 to someone that needs a grade. Breaks my heart. Someone came last semester asking me, please, 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 and I could not because it goes against college rules, okay? So again, I want to stress this now so there's no room for misunderstandings, okay? Sorry for focusing so much on a negative aspect, but again, this is the right time to set the ground rules, okay? Any questions? And by the way, if you have any questions, there's this long link here that you can find more information about plagiarism. And again, if this is not clear to any one of you, come to me in private. You can always come to me in private. I'm going to provide my information very shortly. Always come to me and clarify things beforehand, Okay? Any questions? Okay, so tests. All tests are open book. Everything is open. I don't ask you to memorize concepts, concepts, you should get to know them because that's what you're going to be dealing with. But am I going to ask you to memorize a command line that you have to put in your code? Not really. You're going to be able to use examples that we have gone through. You're going to be able to use Google. You're going to be able to use the book. You're going to be able to use whatever you want to use, except what? It's not open friends. It's open book, but not open friends. But again, you don't need to memorize. My tests, you don't need to memorize. It's, again, all open. Okay? And again, memorize, investor, understand. Yeah, go ahead, Andre.
Do you have a theory test and a lab test?
So the first test is a practical hands-on test, test number 1. You have to deliver a piece of code. You have to upload that to Centennial. The second one is a multiple choice. So it's about 40 to 50 questions of multiple choice questions. There is one that has a little bit of code there, but not much. It's just pseudocode. You don't need to be exact. But the first one, so long story short, the first one is code-oriented, hands-on. The second one is multiple choice. Okay? Each one is worth 20% of the final mark. Any questions? Okay, there is also one team project. I will be the one picking the teams because I want to mix. Sometimes, we tend to stick around with our friends, but in the job market out there, you're not going to be picking your teams. Your teams will be picked for you. So I'll be picking, not initially, not immediately, but I'll be picking the groups that will work together to do this project, this team project. Team project has 3 aspects to it. It has a proposal. It has, but very short proposal, very simple proposal. It has the actual coding project, and it has a presentation. So 3 parts of the team project, and we're going to be discussing that more as we go along, okay? Any questions? Again, if you have questions, you can always come to me afterwards, 101, if you don't want to voice. Now, here's the good news. How about some good news here, guys? This guy doesn't want copying, very this and that, and bonus. Let me tell you this. This same course I've given to 3 sections last semester, the only students that failed were the ones that didn't come to class. Everybody else passed. This is a heavy, content-heavy course. But again, if you come to class, I pretty much promise you that you're gonna do it. Now, what is this? You have the chance to get 10 bonus points. And I'm talking about bonus. I'm talking about on top of your regular grades. So you're gonna have, and I will go through an example of some of those bonus. Each bonus will be worth 1%. So at the end of the semester, you may get an extra 10% there. Now, 10% is quite a lot and can bump you from, can help you quite a lot. Let's put it this way. Bonus, they have a time frame. It's usually the takeaways from a class. For instance, today, once we get to the theory part of the class, you're going to start to make some notes about the theory. And then in the last 20 minutes of the class, you're going to be asked to do something with those notes. And you're going to upload that to Centennial under bonus number 1. Okay? That will count towards your 1%. How do I fail that bonus? Well, pretty much you will not unless you put something there that has nothing to do with what we discussed whatsoever. But just by the fact that you upload something that is related to what I'm asking about the bonus, you're going to pretty much get that 1% bonus. Now, here's the thing. It has a timeline. The first one, for instance, has to be delivered by 10:30 p.m. today. Oh, can I give that tomorrow? No, because bonus is supposed to be a reward for you to be here in class. I know it's tough, 6:30 to 10:30. It's tough for you, it's tough for me. But that's it, that's the deal that we sign up for. Okay, so again, bonus number 1 will be today. By the end of the day, today, you're going to have 20 minutes to put it together, upload. That's it. Don't come, listen to my words. Don't come to me at the end of the semester asking, oh, I didn't do any one of the bonus. Can I upload all of them at once? Come on. Bonus is a reward for you to be participating here, to be here with the class. Okay? So don't ask me. And why am I saying that? Because I had plenty of cases last semester that people came last minute. In the last class, say, hey, can I upload all of them? No, bonus is supposed to be a reward for you to be here, to be participating in class. Questions about that? Who's ready to give up? Nobody. I mean, again, with those bonus, it will make your life way more easier. Way more easier. I'm telling you. Use that. Okay. So I'm just going to open the course outline so you can have a quick look at it and see more or less how things are structured. You can find your course outline at the Centennial. And you can go to Content and then General. And there are a few things here under General, but you can click on this one here. And you're going to see the course outline. I'm going to open that, and you're going to have a quick look at that one. Okay. Check it out. Look, prerequisites of this course. comp129, you need to know C#. You need to know object-oriented programming. You need to know a little bit of database. You need to know client-side coding, you need to know some JavaScript. Now, this is not a heavy JavaScript-related course at all. I mean, we're going to just touch JavaScript a little bit here and there, but very important here, comp129, that you have done this, or, I don't know, some students, they go through the accelerator or express, I don't know the term, but some of you may have skipped this one. But again, it's assumed that you have some basis of coding of C#, okay? Because you're going to be building on top of that, okay? Again, let's not make this a monologue. I'm feeling like a monologue right now. You know? Again, ask me things. I'm here as a partner, okay? Okay, so let's have a look at the... So, as I mentioned, you see, we have 4 assignments. We have 1 practical test. We have the team project, and we have the multiple choice test number 2. And again, bonus is not listed here, but it's my own, let's put it this way, it's my own creation to put those bonus to help you out. Okay, let's go to the outline here. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about HTTP. We're going to be talking about some of the web development concepts. Today, you're not going to see much coding at all. It's more very much high level, not so much, not just theoretical, but high level. There's not too much coding going on today. Then we're gonna be talking about how to create an MVC application. MVC, you're gonna be listening to those 3 layers a lot here. Everything that we're gonna be doing will be about MVC. We're gonna be, my hope is that we can leave here this course knowing what MVC is, knowing conceptually, and having a bit of coding experience on how to put this together, how to put an MVC application together. This is modern stuff. This is not something that is 10 years old. No, this is this year. People there in the job market, they are doing this right now. So this is very current. So again, you're going to see a lot of MVC this, MVC that. The first part of the course, the first 7 weeks, we're going to be very much focusing on one long exercise, one system called a sports store, which we're going to be building piece by piece by piece. Every class you're going to be building one of those pieces. Actually, next one we're going to be starting with one simple project, but then you're going to jump very quickly to this sports store. Okay, so and again, every class we're going to be building on top of that. Okay, so that's the first half. The second half of the semester, we're going to be going deeper into what we have done with this application. We're going to be stopping and going a little bit deeper than what we have gone through in the first brush of the semester. But again, it's all about MVC and the concepts around that. Let's see. Again, there are so many aspects in coming from a very traditional type of programming that I come from. First time that I got in touch with MVC, it was a bit intimidating. I got a bit intimidated by MVC because it's not very straightforward. There are some concepts that we have to get our minds around them. But again, we're going to do this together. Okay. Again, we're going to be talking about security, how to secure our application, how to deploy our application. And it's all about, again, it's all about MVC. It's building on top of each other. I had actually brought the... So we're not going to be covering this entire book. We're not going to be covering that completely. But half of it, at least half of it, we're going to be covering. Okay, so half of this book is this sports store. The other half of the book is going through the same concepts, but a little bit more in depth. Do you have to have the book? You should have the book. Maybe the digital format, the digital form, maybe the book itself. I mean, it will be useful. Yes, it will be useful. I'll be sharing a lot of videos that I have done about the sports store. So again, you can give it a try and see if it works out without, but if you are able to, get it, either the digital form or the physical book, it will be good, but that's the one, okay? ESP.NET Core MVC2. Questions? Maybe about the outline, maybe anything else there. Gives me a chance to have a sip. Okay. Okay, so again, if anyone has any questions about that, let me know. Let's go back there to where are we? Here, okay. So again, I'll be following very closely the outline, even the weeks of the outlines, the assignments from the outline, following very, very closely. Attendance. I do take attendance, but it will not impact on your grades at all. Why do I take attendance? Because if anyone comes at the end of the semester saying that they didn't got it, they didn't understand, that they didn't do this or do that, I'll check his or her frequency. And if the person is not coming, I'm going to say, but you had a question, but you didn't come. I swear to God, last semester, someone showed up the last class. I said, who are you? Oh, I'm a student. I haven't seen you at all. So again, the person came in the last class of the semester to mention that, yeah, my intention was to watch the videos, because you're going to see in a second that I'm recording all of this, to watch the videos, and I thought that I could do that, and I didn't have to come to class. To be honest, you don't have to come. However, if you don't come, watch the video. Now, what are the consequences of not coming? You don't get the bonus. You don't get the bonus, okay? But again, this conversation here is being recorded. This screen is being recorded, and it will be made available to you afterwards. Maybe for you to review some things that you may have missed. Maybe if you didn't, you know what, life happens. So sometimes we are not able to come to class. So you have the recording to be able to review what was discussed in class, okay? But again, that does not justify not coming to class whatsoever. If you are, smart, if you watch the recordings and are able to do the tests and the assignments and all of that, that's great. That's okay. However, my experience is a little bit different than that. My experience is that if you don't come to class, usually you slack off, you don't follow the videos, and you don't do the assignments, and you don't do the tests, and things fall apart. Okay? But again, I'll take attendance just because of that. Any questions about attendance? Anything? Okay.
So the class is recorded like right now or from the next?
Right now. Right now. I'm recording in my laptop right now. Yeah, I'm recording. I have a software running in my computer. This is the one. So this is recording what I do here in the screen, and I'm recording my voice here just to make it a bit more clear, because the mic on the laptop will not pick up. You have a question?
Yeah. So
Sure.
for the bonus, that means you can go up to 110% or no?
Well, you know what? Then it rounds to 100. I mean, you're not going to be able to use 10% extra. Oh, let me see, maybe comp, whatever other comp. No. So again, you can go up to 100. Okay? So yeah, so I'll make it available. Usually within a day or two, the recording will be available and posted on Centennial. Okay? Okay, so if I don't come to class, I will let you know. I'll let you know via email. Life happens, as I said. Something may happen. But if I did not mention anything via email, it's because I'm still coming. Sometimes there's a big snowstorm, and we just get, slow on the highway. So if you don't hear from me, it's because I'm on my way. I'm just saying that because last semester there was a case that I got a little bit late because of a snowstorm, and I wanted to make sure that the students know that the only time that I won't be here is if I'm there. There is the hospital. So again, I'm always here, always here. Last semester I didn't miss any class at all. So again, it must be very exceptional for me not to be here, and I will let you know unless I'm in a comma. Otherwise, I will email all of you to say, I'm not coming today, okay? Okay, let's talk about a little bit about tools that we're going to be using throughout the semester. We're going to be using a lot Centennial itself with its features, for assignments, for the weeks as well. Every week I'll be releasing the content under content. So you're going to see week 1, week 2. I'll also be posting the videos for each week in the week itself. So you're going to see a video like this, a thumbnail like this, once this goes live here, okay? I'll tell you what this is a little bit down the road, but again, on each week, I'll be posting here on Centennial the recording of that week. Okay. Padlet, you got a little bit of a taste of Padlet. You don't have to create an account. We're going to be using that a lot in class to share information, to share stuff. Okay, so it's your section number, padlets.com/Ederson/008. Okay, I'll always remind you about that. Again, you can save the shortcuts, or I can always remind you about that. But it's a good tool to share information during class, to share things that we are doing. Okay, very good one. I also use Nearpod quite a lot. Nearpod, I usually use that to do quick quizzes. We work a little bit, we do some content here, and then I put up a quick quiz. Not a graded quiz, it's just a more of a, let's see how we are doing, let's see if we are following what I'm talking about here. So I use Nearpod, no account needs to be created, I'll share a link. You just access the link, and that's it, okay? But I'll be using that for quizzes and for other small little activities. It is, although I have not used Kahoot much at all, but I see other instructors using that quite a lot, so it seems to be similar, yeah. YouTube, I will be sharing our videos there, but again, you don't need to necessarily to go there, because I'll be embedding them into Centennial. But again, you see that I do like video stuff. Slack. Who knows what Slack is? What is Slack?
Like a chatting app.
Like a chatting app, isn't it? Yeah, so to be honest, I have not used it with another class yet, but I want to start using that and see if we can make good use of that. So I have created what's called a channel. Well, it's not really a channel, it's more of a workplace, and then we can have channels. But what I would like to ask you is, let me see here, I just want to make sure that we get to some sort of a break here. We started 6:30, yeah, should be. Now what, how about we get 5 minutes here? We have a lot more to cover. Let's give you a break and me a break as well. 5 minutes. And yes, sweets, by all means, come by.
Is this the book?
Yes, that's the book. Yeah. Just put it there. How are you? Good, good. Okay, so we have stopped there when I was talking about Slack. So I have created a Slack workspace. We're going to try to use. If we find out that there's no use for that, that's fine, but I want to give it a good try. So go back to Padlet, padlet.com/ads/008. Click this Slack invitation link. Okay, go ahead. Click this link here, and it will ask you for your name and email address. My recommendation is use the email address that you check the most. You can use the college email address, you can use a personal email address, it's up to you. But again, I recommend that you use the one that you use most frequently. Just make sure that you don't miss anything there. But again, click there, do the sign up. Then we can activate Slack. I mean, you can activate Slack as well during class, and I would be able to share things easily there. can ask here.
I mean in Slack.
You can ask. That's what I'm trying to figure out, because for questions during class, what I was doing, I was keeping this Padlet open, and I was checking, because you are able to add, you see the plus there? You are able to add here. So what I was doing before, I was using that as a way for students that, if you don't want to ask, raise your hand, you can click there, the plus, and you can ask there anonymously. With Slack, Slack, you cannot make it anonymous. Your name will show up there. So I guess that it could be a good way to, if you want to make it anonymous, you could ask here in Padlet. If you are okay asking, you can ask there on Slack. Again, I'm still trying to figure out a good use for Slack, but that might be it. Because there is nothing anonymous there. You identify yourself when you ask something on Slack. There is your name there. Okay? When you sign up on Slack, I may have to approve it afterwards. Again, I just created the workspace today, so I'm not sure if I need to approve or not, but I'll have a look. Again. Centennial has some tools that allows some sort of communication, but it's mostly via email. And here's the other reason to use Slack, because companies out there, they are using that to communicate internally within staff, within clients. So again, it's a good way to get to know a tool that will be useful for you in the job market as well. Regardless if you're going to be a coder or not, Slack, a lot of companies are using Slack at this point. Give another minute there to wrap it up. With Slack, you can download on your phone. You can download on your laptop. You can use online as well. You can go to the browser and just go to Slack, and you will be able to access on the browser too. So you don't have to install. You can access via the browser as well. Okay, let's see how it goes with Slack. Okay, I'm going to move on. If you are still signing up, that's fine. You can do it at any point in time during the class. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to get to a part here that those are commitments that we're going to agree as a group. They are open for discussion. They are open for debate. It's our picky promises here. Let's talk about breaks. We just had a little 5 minutes break. We definitely need a break between the first 2 hours and the second 2 hours. So that's a 10 minutes break. We're going to have that break at 8:20. So 8:20 to 8:30, we're going to have a 10 minutes break between the 2 hour blocks, okay? The question here is, should we have a 5 minutes break between every hour, like we had now, and then we have another one, let's see, at 9:20 or 9:30. Breaks, no breaks, other than the main one, because yes, we need that 10 minutes between the 2 blocks of hours. But the 5 minutes one, I'll leave it. Actually, let's try something here. It's one of the use of Nearpods. We can do little surveys. Here's what we're gonna give it a try on this one. So if you can access nearpods.com, and I'll make it a bigger here. Let's see. Launch new session. See, go to nearpod.com. There is a place to add a code. This is the code that you add. I'm just going to hide your names because I want to do this as anonymously. So go to nearpod.com, go to this, enter that code at the top, and it will ask you to do a little voting there, and let's see what comes out of it. So I'm just going to do it myself here as well. So the code is RFDQL. Just going to try it myself here to make sure that it's working. So again, this is just a quick poll. You don't have to put your name. I'm going to hide the name. So again, this is anonymous. I'm just going to, you can put anything there. The important thing is that we have some results there. So basically yes or no. I mean, are we okay of not having those 5 minutes? Should we have the 5 minutes? Give it a vote. I'll give it a second. And let's see how we're doing here. Okay, it seems to be a winner. We should have, I guess. Yep. Any comments? Any questions? So again, we're going to have 5 minutes break. The next one becomes then at around 8:20, 8:25. No, sorry. Yeah. Actually, that's the 10 minutes one. And the 5 minutes one is 7:20 and 9:20. Okay? So we're going to have 5 minutes breaks. Comments, questions? Awesome. I think this is pretty straightforward. That's about breaks. Foods. Food is another one. Are we okay to bring foods? Well, I guess I'm already bringing them. It's more about snacks, no? I mean, we're not going to be bringing here a hot dog with stuff dripping, but in any case, there's a pool there. I'm gonna advance the pool. The same page that you are, you're going to see additional questions there. Is food allowed? Yes, of any kind. Yes, snacks only, dry stuff only, not messy stuff, or not allowed. If anyone, again, wants to voice any questions, concerns. By the way, the other use, and I was just talking a second ago, of Padlets is that you can ask a question anonymously, okay? So if you click the plus sign, you can type something there, and you don't need to say your name there. So again, if you don't feel comfortable asking a question, you can ask anything here. I'll be visiting Padlet very often to see if there are any questions there and to see if there's anything that I can help anyone with. You see? Jibber jabber. So, okay, so again, let's see the pool there. Let's see how we are doing. Okay, it's here. And, okay, snacks only. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good call. So it is okay. Snacks, coffee. Well, there's no food there, but you know what? We can do what we want to do. As long as you promise not to spill the keyboard. And I have my water with me as well. So again, so is snacks okay? Great. And the last one, I think it's the last one here. That's a hot topic. Hot. Okay, so language. Should we speak English only? Across? Are we okay of having different languages being spoken in little groups? I have my preferences, but again, I want to open that up to everybody so you can give your opinions. This is a group agreement. If you agree that it's English only, then it is English only, and I will call out in case you are in little groups talking language that is not English. If it's okay, if you want to be able to talk in different languages, again, let's express our opinions here. I'm gonna go back there and you should see the next one. Should English be the only language spoken in class? Yes or no? Yes, we all need to understand each other. No, I don't see a problem speaking in my mother tongue. You can see that I like a survey, you know. I like the surveys. Anyway, okay, let's see here. No, I don't see a problem. Okay, come on. Okay, it's close, but it's winning. It's a win. Okay, so again, now, so we may speak Portuguese a little bit, maybe. Yeah. I'm just joking. Of course, I'll not be speaking Portuguese, okay? But again, if there are some little groups talks, it's okay. As long as it doesn't overpower and take over and become this, a distraction to the other class members, okay? But it should be fine. Great. And I don't think that I have another survey here. I think that's the last one. Yes, let's see here what this is about. Okay. Let me think here what's... Okay, so delays. I also want to open that up to see opinions, to hear opinions out there. Delays with assignments, mostly assignments because tests, there's no way that we can delay there. I mean, I'm talking about delays in terms of assignments. We have 4 assignments. They're going to have due dates. So I'm talking about, you know, penalties for being delayed. Or not so much penalties, but also leeway. Maybe is there a bit of flexibility? Yes or no? I would like to not do a poll, but just listen to a few of your opinions. If you want to voice your opinion about, hey, maybe we should have a 1 day, you know, flexibility. Or maybe it should only be, I don't know, 5% per day, per delay. Whatever it is, I would like to hear from you. If it can be, you know, spoken, you can raise your hand and tell me, or you can do it on Padlet anonymously. Again, if you prefer anonymously, it's fine with me. You can go to that Padlet and just tell me what's your opinion, maybe here, no, just click the plus, tell me, maybe, again, what's your opinion about delays? If there is any flexibility there that you'd like to see, what should be the penalty if it goes over that? But I would like to hear, because here's the thing, if I don't hear, I will, you know, bring my own rules in place. So let's see, 1 day flexibility, okay? Let's delete the jibber jabber. Okay, I'll answer that in a second. Okay, so again, 1 day flexibility. Anyone? I'll give you 1, I'll give you 2. Sold. 2 days flexibility, wow, it's increasing. Okay, let's keep going, come on. Keep going, let's see.
The due dates are usually the class date, like on Tuesdays? Or?
I'm usually putting them in relation to the class day. Yeah.
In my opinion, it would be good to have 1 day because, for example, if we have any kind of doubt, we
Okay.
can solve on Tuesdays and then deliver on Friday,
Oh.
on Wednesday.
Okay, good point. Okay. Okay, so again, 2 days, 1 day. Let's say that we go for 1 day. Then what? So 1 day comes, now it's 2 days, 3 days later. What should be the consequence of going, you know, over the 1 day flexibility? %, okay, 5% per what? Per day? That goes late? 1% per day, okay. 1%, come on, we have to be fair. Come on. have to be reasonable. 5%, yeah, so again, so yeah, per day, okay, so 5% per day, lose, okay, that's too complex. I mean, my mind doesn't understand that. I get it. Okay, so 5% per day. I think it's the low side, you know. I think it's the low end, 5%. But I'm okay. I mean, again, as I'm opening up to your opinions, I'll be open for that as well. 5% deduction per day. Okay, so we have a consensus here, everybody. Okay, until what? Until there's nothing. So 5% per day, you have to be 20 days late to zero out. Okay, I can live with that, you know. I mean, I can live with that. Any other opinions? So again, can we make it 5% after? See, it's 5% after 1 day delay. Pretty flexible. You're not gonna find too many instructions doing that, but yeah, I can live with that. Any other comments? So again, 1 day flexibility, 5% per day after that. I'll give you 1. I'll give you 2. So is that, well, people are pushing. I'll do the 5%. Let's do the 5%. Again, let's not go too hardcore here. So again, 5% per day after 1 day. Again, that's very flexible, okay? Very flexible. So don't come to me at the end of the semester. Again, I had students doing that. No assignments given. Last day of class, wants to deliver all 4 assignments. It doesn't work like that. Not with 5%, not with 1 day flexibility. Okay, so again, 1 day, 5% per day should be more than fair for anyone. Okay? And you thought that this would be hard. Is there anything else? A lot of talking, isn't it? I like talking. Huh? No content yet. I had this planned out. Don't worry, we are on schedule. Anything else? I mean, is there any other topics that we need to clarify to straighten things out here before we move on? Anything missing that we have not discussed yet? Again, you can always come to me later if there's anything. But I think that we cover our base quite well so far. Recording, I have mentioned already the deal with recording, so again, there's nothing else to be added there. Any questions about this? Again, I try as much as possible to upload within a day, maximum 2. Sometimes it accumulates a little bit, but yeah, I try very hard to do within a day or 2 to be live. But as I said, just because I'm recording, I don't want to see that, okay? I want to see, like today, I love to see a full house, like what we see today, okay? So again, don't think about the recording as an add-on to the course, not a replacement to being here, okay? My Centennial email, I mean, you can reach me via eCentennial. My email is there in the homepage of the course. Let's see here. So if you go to the homepage here, if you click the name, see, the email is there. Skype as well. So I don't have office hours here, but you can we can always book a time to be here, so we can do a face-to-face. We can have a face-to-face if you need, but you can always have an online meeting as well. If there's anything that you need to discuss with me, we can do that online, and I'll be way more flexible doing that online than we have to book here and be here at the same time, okay? So yeah, so again, we can have an appointment to meet here in person, but we can always do a Skype call. And that's about it. And finally, that's about it. Yep, Albert Einstein. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned. That's deep. Deep, deep, deep. Okay, so how about we get some theory? I know that you are anxious about theory. Let's have 2 hours of theory now. Well, let's see. Okay, so before we get to the theory, as you see, I like surveys, I like to do those kinds of stuff. And I have yet, I think it's the last one for the day. I want to get to know a little bit of your experience so far with coding, you know. I want to understand a little bit of what you know, what you don't know. So I have a quick survey, 5 questions, just you have to rate yourself from 0 to 1. And let me see if I can get the URL here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so this is just a bit of a background survey, so I understand where you are all coming from, but as a group, not individually. Let me answer this first. There's a question there, and I don't want to delete that before I address that. So the question is, which framework is better for backend development? I mean, we'll be talking about C# here, MVC. I'm inclined to say C# with MVC. That's the best framework. It's hard to answer which framework is better for backend development because it usually comes down to what is your experience? I mean, what's your background in terms of programming languages, in terms of technology? I mean, what I can say is that the market out there, they want people with experience in C#, in MVC, in Python, in PHP. Not all of them at once, but if you have any one of those skills, it will be very welcome to the market. Even JavaScript, but from a server side, Node.js, those are all very popular frameworks. Again, is there one more popular than the other one? Most likely, yes. Actually, I'll be sharing things throughout the course that will tell you what is hot, what is hotter right now. But better, I would say that there's a better way to ask this question. You can say, which framework is the most popular backend framework so far, you know, at this point in time? Ruby is also another one very, very popular. So I love .NET. I love C# with MVC. I love that setup. Java Spring, Java as well. Well, Java is very much used by bigger corporations and all of that. So again, better is very relative. More popular, yes, you can precise. We can give a more precise answer, but better. I would say that if you have a good hang of C# and MVC, you are in a very good position. You are in a better position than most developers out there in the market right now. Hope that was useful. If you have any follow-up on that, just let me know. I will actually, let me see here. So this is a background survey. Okay, so let's have a look there at Padlet and click this form, this background survey. It will just ask a few questions. How familiar are you with those terms? And I just want to have a look and see how we are doing here as a class. You don't have to put your name here. Just select one. 5 simple questions. Just select your level of comfort with that particular technology. And again, it's this background survey link padlet.com/Ederson/8008. Okay, so let's have a look here. If you are still answering, that's fine. I'll just keep moving forward here. So just want to share with you the aggregated information here. So object-oriented programming, which is one of the requirements of this course. So we have a lot of people that have a good knowledge, a solid knowledge. That's good that everybody has heard of it. A few, about 25%, have heard of it and could have explained it once, but cannot recall right now. Okay, so you're going to be recalling some of that. Okay, C#, that's great. I mean, majority, that's what I would expect. Majority would have a good foundation of C#. Okay, if you cannot recall it now, you should be recalling it very soon, okay, because it will be a key aspect of what you're going to be doing here. HTML, this is not a course about designing beautiful interfaces. You're going to be using some things that will make our interface a little bit beautiful, a little bit prettier, but this is not a course about, I'll not be here teaching you HTML, okay? I have some references that will point you to get more information about HTML, but again, the focus here is the server-side coding, not so much of HTML. HTML will be necessary because you're going to be writing a few pieces of code that are HTML related. So again, for the ones that do not recall, I'm going to be providing links that you can go through with about an hour of training that will give you the foundation that you need about HTML, okay? CSS, again, CSS is very much front end. We're gonna discuss a few things about CSS, cascade style sheets, but that's not the focus of the course, okay? JavaScript, again, one of the requirements is that you have done comp, I don't recall the code number, but it's about front-end development, so you should have some knowledge about JavaScript. However, JavaScript is not required for this course. We're going to touch a little bit of JavaScript, more precisely. We're going to touch about jQuery, jQuery, a little bit of jQuery, but very, very minor. So even if you don't know much about JavaScript, you will not be lost within this course. You will not. C# it's a different story. C#, you need to be, I'd say, sharp in C#. HTTP, we're going to be talking a little bit about HTTP right now. Actually, I mean, I'm not surprised that some people don't have much experience with that because it's not something that you see every day. But you're going to be talking about that. Actually, you're going to be talking about that next. Good, good. So just wanted to have an idea. Any questions so far? Okay. So, stop this one here. And see here. Okay, are we done here? Yes, we are done. And then we should go to week 1. So let's have a look at this one here. Okay, so let's get started with the content, with some of the theory that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be, sorry for this mess here. I mean, I was not able to clean this up. But we're going to be talking a little bit now about HTTP before we go for our 10 minutes break. HTTP, week 1. What we're going to be covering today, again, there's not much about coding at all. It's more about high level. It's more about understanding the big picture of what we are about to, of this journey that we are about to start, okay? I recommend that you take notes because 20 minutes before the end of the class today, I will stop. I will ask you to pick up those notes and do something, put them in a Word document and upload them. I will remind you about that as we go along, but again, make a few notes as we go along. HTTP, what is it? You know, what you pick up from HTTP here. So, HTTP is I like to define HTTP as it's a part of the plumbing of the internet, of the web. It's a protocol, hypertext transmission protocol, that it's how, whenever you go, let's say, to Google, what you did there, you made a request to Google. And then you get back a response, which is a web page. So who is sending that to Google and bringing that response back from Google? That's the protocol that we're using. That's the HTTP. Again, a bit high level here. I'll not be asking this anytime, in the course, but I would like you to have a look and understand a little bit of those concepts, So again, we're going to be talking a lot about this. A request and a response. That's all that the web is about. It's about us accessing the website and coming back with information back to you. Okay? So just, the text definition. HTTP is stateless. Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It's stateless. What do we understand about stateless? What is stateless? Even beyond HTTP, I mean, when you hear the word stateless, what comes to mind? I mean, anything comes to mind? Stateless is when we are talking, when we are talking with a friend, you ask them a question, they answer the question, and then you ask a follow-up question. You build on top of that conversation, on top of each other. That the conversation develops because now you know more than what you knew before. Stateless means that I request something, it comes back to me, but HTTP doesn't have a memory of what was requested before. Each request is its own communication. There is no reference to what was asked before. Now, there is a way to go around that, but HTTP itself, each request is independent from the previous one. It's like I ask a question, and the next question I'm going to ask is completely unrelated to the first one. It doesn't build on top of each other. So, just read it. HTTP is stateless application level request response. You request a page, you get a response. Protocol that uses extensible semantics and self-descriptive messages payload for flexible, too much. Basically, what it is that the message that you send to the site, you're gonna get a response. You're gonna use, let's say, a verb to ask something, you're going to use, let's say, a get. So that's what it says, extensible semantics here with self-descriptive message payloads. Let's see this in a more practicality. Okay, so this diagram, I'll tell you up front, you're going to reproduce this diagram at the end of the class. So you don't need to memorize, but I will be hammering this diagram pretty much in every single class that we go through here, because that summarizes what you're going to be doing in this class. We're going to be, working with a client application. In this case, in our case, it will be the web browser. The web browser will make a request to the server, like google.com, centennial.com.ca, and then it responds back with a web page. That web page may have what? It will have HTML, it will have CSS, which is the styling, the colors, fonts, and all of that, and it will have functionality as well. You move the mouse over here, it does something different. So you're gonna have some JavaScript going back, you're gonna have some CSS going back, you're gonna have some HTML going back. What else? What else goes back to the browser? Because I didn't mention everything here. What else could go back there? Data. Data, usually the data goes together with the HTML. It's part of the HTML blob that goes back. What other types of files may go back here? HTML is a type of file. CSS is a type of file. JS is a type of file. What other types of files could return here in this communication? Just, it's in front of you. Any site that you go, you see that kind of other files. Images. You see images. What else goes back? GIF, you mean? PDFs. PDFs, that's true. PDFs. What else? Video. Video is a big part of the web right now. So again, I left those types of files aside because, they can go back to the response, but it's not so much important to what we're going to be talking about, during this course. These are the main types of files and content that will return back. Different ones will return as well, as some of you have mentioned now. So again, we have the browser, we have a request to the server that returns a response. What we're going to be talking throughout this course is this part here. We're going to be talking a lot about this part. MVC, C#, it's right here, the web application, okay? Right, this layer, which is not really a layer. Everything here is really inside the server, okay? But we're going to be exploring this a lot. Today, in a more high-level conversation, we're going to be talking a little bit about this part here, okay? A little bit of HTML, a little bit of JavaScript, a little bit of CSS, just from an overview. But anytime that we're going to cover a new topic, I want to explore this diagram again and again, because it's the basis. It's a simplified diagram, but it's the basis of what you're going to be doing here, okay? And I'll be expanding this one in the next classes. Anything here does not make sense? Is there anything that it's not clear here? And again, as I said, I'll keep looking at Padlet. If you have any questions, you can also post there, if I can find it here. Okay. I'm hungry. Okay, great. We're going to have a 10 minutes break in a second. A 10 minutes break in 10 minutes. That's what I'm... So again, if you have questions that you don't want to voice, you can ask here. I'll keep checking. And the hungry ones will be satisfied in a second. Okay, so HTTP that we are just starting to talk about, it's present right here. It's the channel that the request and the response will be using. Imagine that actually there is a good a good metaphor, comparison, explaining what HTTP is. Imagine that we have a highway. In a highway are the wires, the wireless infrastructure that we have, that we use the web on top of it. So we have the highways, which are the wires, the wireless signal. On a highway, we have trucks driving stuff back and forth. So the truck, you can think about the truck as something called, which is not described here. It's the transmission protocol, it's this TCP. That's the truck. And inside the truck goes a message. The message is the HTTP, which can be a request or can be a response. Okay? Again, request when we try to access something, a web page in our situation here. It can be different things, but in our case, that is a request. And then when we get a response, that's the other payload. That's the content of that truck. Again, the truck doesn't care which message is there. The truck, HTTP truck, does not care if this is a request or response. It does not care which type of request is this one, which type of response is that. It just has the function of transmitting the communication without knowing what is actually inside. Inside, we have a request, which we have many types of requests. We have a response, which we have many types of response as well. Okay? Okay, I want to see if I can play this little video for us to have a better understanding about that before we go to our break here. So let me see if I can get this volume right. Okay. And by the way, this presentation that I'm showing right now, it's available already on eCentennial.
Let's do it.
Okay.
First point, most basic point, is that HTTP follows the standard client-server model or request-response model. So I often use kitchens. I always use kitchens as my analogy. We're going to talk through all 6 points, run through them, and hope it's useful. All right, guys?
Is the volume okay? Is it okay?
Let's do it. First point, most basic point, is that HTTP follows the standard client-server model or request-response model. So I often use kitchens. I always use kitchens as my analogies because, I don't know, it's really convenient, but we've talked about this before. Basic client-server model, you're a person going to eat at a kitchen, you're a client, and the kitchen is responding to your request. So you go in, I want a Big Mac. The kitchen goes, all right, here's a Big Mac. So the web browser you're using right now to watch this video, or any web browser that's running on your mobile phones, those are the clients to HTTP. And the servers for HTTP are all those web applications like YouTube, Facebook that are sitting on the cloud, owned by different companies and just on the internet. All right, so point number one, really basic client-server model, and that's what HTTP follows. The second really important thing to understand about HTTP is that it's a stateless protocol. And what do we mean by stateless? What stateless kind of means is that every single transaction you make through HTTP is independent and it's not related to any other transaction. So let's just take a couple analogies, like flipping a coin. Flipping a coin is stateless, right? Heads, 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 tails, tails. Just because you got heads 5 times doesn't mean you couldn't get it with the same probability the next time, right? Flipping a coin is stateless. So even though HTTP is kind of a stateless protocol, you'll see that a lot of web applications still track your state somehow, right? And they do this via these things called sessions, cookies, and a lot of kind of stateful management of how web applications work with.
So again, it is stateless, but you may ask, but when I go through a shopping cart, I go step by step, it knows that I'm in a shopping cart. So again, that is resolved because we have sessions and cookies. We're going to be exploring this more as we go along, but again, the problem or the limitation of HTTP that is stateless, we go around that by using cookies that can tell the server where the person is in a process, and sessions as well. So again, this is a way to work around the stateless nature of HTTP.
All their clients, but that's for another video, all right? So even though HTTP itself is stateless, you still get the functionality of state through other mechanisms. So remember that. The third important point about HTTP is that it's an application layer protocol, and it sits on top of a transport layer protocol. 99.9% of the case, HTTP uses TCP as its transport level protocol. So if the transport layer is here, the application layer is a little above it, all right, in the stack of things. We can't get into the details of TCP in this video, but what it really does is it defines how data is sent from one place to the other, how the data is formatted, how the packets are sent, how do you acknowledge things. It's kind of dictating the actual transport or the communication of the data itself. That's what TCP does. HTTP sits above that on the stack, right? So from HTTP's perspective, it doesn't care about how the data is sent. Those are details it doesn't care about. All it cares about is, I request a web page, I want to get some data back. I request that web page, I want to get some data back. So it never cares about all those little details that TCP handles. So HTTP up here, TCP right below it. All right, on to the fourth important thing about this protocol is that whenever the client requests something from the server, it always specifies a special action or method along with it. If you're a developer watching this video before, I'm sure you've heard of all these different methods or actions. Get, post, delete, but these are all special actions to be performed by the server. Get is really simple. I just want to get a page, read a page, all right? It's always read only. I want to get a resource. Post is you're creating something new. So you're creating a new item in your shopping cart, or you're creating a new friend in Facebook, but post is always for creating a new object. And delete, self-explanatory. Fifth.
So I just want to step back here. So again, get, don't worry too much about delete, and there are more verbs, but get and post, we're going to be using and dealing with them quite a lot. Get is just to get some information from the server. Post is when we need to change some information. If I ask for an example, when you are using something on the web that changes information, which scenario comes to mind that changes information in the server? Can you give me any example of something that you do that changes data, that changes information? Actually, you did that already today quite a few times. Yes, personal information, like you submit one of the surveys, we are changed. So when we change, we post information. When we just want to get information from the site, from the server, we use a get. So again, this you're gonna hear that quite a lot throughout the course.
Is always for creating a new object. And delete, self-explanatory. Fifth most important thing about HTTP is that it defines response status codes that the servers make back to the clients. I'm sure many of you have encountered some of these before. 200 means A-OK, 404 means not found, 500 means you effed up. But if you look at the documentation for HTTP, there's a lot of these numbers defining what all the different status codes means, but what's really difficult is that it's actually up to the programmer to return the proper status codes, and more often than not, you don't really return the proper status code many times. Okay, so the sixth and last core thing to understand about HTTP is that it supports these things called headers. All a header is, it's really simple. All headers are tiny bits of custom information that you send along with your request and with your responses. The main purpose of headers and all this custom little bits of information is to kind of tweak the operation of the request. So let me just give a few examples to hopefully make it more clear. One header that you can
I'll be going through those examples, but let's take a 10 minutes break and we come back in a second.